Howdy, boys. How you doing? Welcome into another one. Real Friends of Football. I'm your host, Miles Thomas. This is the first kind of thing like this we've done where we look at someone else's top board, their top 50 board. We're going to look at Daniel Jeremiah. The reason why we picked Daniel Jeremiah, because I have told you guys this so many times, he is the Don. He is one of the guys that I really trust. Yo, when he called that Houston Texans C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson Jr. play super early in the draft process, honestly, I think it was like a month and a half out, maybe 2 months out of the draft process where he was throwing this out. He was still the only one doing it consistently. And after that, I was like, yo, this guy's on a different wavelength. Like, he is so plugged in, GM wise. And so he's a confident guy. When I hear him say things, he's great when it comes to evaluation of the player. But when he says teams say this team says this, I'm like, because other people, like when Todd McShay says it, I'm like, all right, bro. Like, I've talked to guys, I'm like, okay, you probably talked to some scout, or I don't know, you ain't talking to the G. I don't know why I think that. For some people, I kind of think people kind of fluff up who they actually know, because why wouldn't you? But I feel like Daniel Jeremiah, being a former guy that's actually a part of the league, I think he was like a GM for the Ravens or something with the Ravens, some type of player personnel with the Ravens. I'm pretty sure something like that back in the day. But of course, Abdul Carter, that's his main guy. Travis Hunter, we already know these dudes are going to be at the top of the list. Abdul Carter, pretty much a clear cutout of what you would think of a Micah Parsons, a lesser than version. But I don't know. He might be way more dominant and impactful than Micah Parsons. I'm not very sure. But what I do know is that Abdul Carter has an opportunity to be a very, very, or not him to have the opportunity, but team has the opportunity once they get Abdul Carter to have like a difference maker, like a Myles Garrett, a TJ Watt, a difference maker to the organization. So that's beautiful. Travis Hunter, a kid who I like a lot, a kid in which, and I'm going to say this for another player that you all know, if the Sanders bright lights, if the girlfriend, if, I guess really that, I think if this kid went to the University of Texas, I think if Travis Hunter went to USC, I think if Travis Hunter went to Alabama, Georgia, we'd love him, like consensus. And I wonder if, I probably bet Daniel Jeremiah wouldn't change it, but I hate slander that he's kind of getting when they're just saying he's going to be a bust. The simple fact that he doesn't have the crazy weight, and they said the same thing about Devonta Smith, and he ended up doing some great things in the NFL, got himself a Super Bowl championship. And so the game is kind of changing in the sense of, if the athlete can do it in college, just don't be silly and don't think he can't just do it in the NFL. And it's Travis Hunter. So I agree with this at the number 2 spot. I wonder when we're going to start disagreeing. And so Ashton Dinty, he got amazing game, we saw that. Ashton Dinty at that number 3 spot. Not mad at that at all. I mean, this kid, I actually just did a film on him today, actually. Broke it down a little bit. I just wanted to see if he's still number 1. I just like to do that. And yeah, he is, man. People just bounce off him. It's like a force field. It's like he has a small force field on him, and they just bounce off. They don't like tackling a guy like Ashton Dinty. Very ferocious, has the ability to break a lot of tackles, has that burst, has that speed, has great running form, cheek to holster kind of ordeal, old school type of runner in that, but still has a modern twang to him, loves contact, and I think if the Raiders can get him, that is going to be beautiful. Mason Graham hitting out that number 4 spot. This kid, I think the thing that makes him so great is his lateral quickness. And he has moves, man. He has counters. Let's see what he says. I mean, this is, I'm just going to say everything. Powerful. Yeah, very former wrestler. That's something that I knew, but I always tend to forget. I think that needs to be at the top of the list when it comes to offensive line or defensive line, maybe linebacker, probably not running back. But when it comes to those ordeals, like Tyler Linderbaum, the center for the Ravens, Iowa guy, former wrestler, freaking all-pro. Like, I think there's something when you go trenches and he has a wrestling background. high school thereof, even college if it's better. There's something to it. Just the grappling aspect, and Mason Graham very much shows the core power in which you need with wrestling. You see it a lot in his lateral quickness, how he moves side to side. Of course, I love Mason Graham. Tyler Warren, the tight end at the number 5 spot. What does this say? This guy's a 6'6" guy, former basketball player in high school, wanted to play basketball, put out his film, and you talk about how he was actually accepted into Penn State. The story is he sent his film, Penn State film, or sorry, his basketball film to Penn State's basketball coach, right? Through the program, just getting stuff out there. And the football coach had gotten ring of it about his dunks and how much he dunks, and then that's how they were able to kind of see him and then see his football film, and then they kind of checked and balances everything out. And I'm pretty sure he's a former quarterback, I believe. Yep, as a Wildcat quarterback, that's what he plays, I guess. I thought he was a former something, maybe baseball, I can't remember. But huge guy, 6'6", freaking athletic. We did the film breakdown on him. He's going to be an Swiss Army knife. I always do that. Swiss Army knife for a team immediately. Tyler Warren's great. Colston Loveland, and this has been the thing with 1 and 2. Who's tight end 1? Who's tight end 2? I think these guys are both great. Colston Loveland has more of a slender build, more Kelsey-esque in a sense. And that's going to be the comparisons that you hear of these guys. You know, Tyler Warren's going to be the Gronk, and Colston Loveland's going to be the Kelsey. I'm a Gronk enthusiast. I like Gronk's game a little bit more than Kelsey's, but Colston Loveland, who's getting mocked a lot too, either the Broncos or the Chargers because of that connection. This kid, if he makes it to 32, which I don't think 31, the Kansas City Chiefs would actually probably trade up to go get this kid. Very athletic, tall, lengthy, huge catch radius. Did not have the greatest of quarterbacks in his last year at Michigan, to where he wasn't able to really highlight and showcase a legitimate standout spot as the number 1 tight end in this draft class. And so that's unfortunate, but yeah, very smooth within his route running. He actually had a game that we went over. I think it might've been the Texas game where he blocked a little bit, slipped out, dropped the pass. It is what it is. Stuff like that happens. Jalen Walker at the 7 spot. Also, I haven't gone through this yet. So this is going to be, y'all are going to see genuine, reactions. But I like this, because I think the thing that makes Jalen Walker special, it is the versatility to put him at that linebacker position, and he can stand up and actually play the linebacker position, Mike position, the way you need him to, and or you can put him at the 0, at the 2, at the 4, 5. You can put him anywhere on that defensive line, and he will have impact. He will have major impact. I did the Texas game against him today, and he had a crazy rep against Kelvin Banks Jr. Absolutely phenomenal rep against Kelvin Banks Jr. And does he say it? First meeting against Texas during the, he dominated. I just saw Texas right there. He has a mentality and a confidence of Jalen Carter. No. Is it Jalen Carter? The defensive tackle from Georgia for the Eagles. Yes, that mentality of like brute, like I am the force. You need to respect me. There is nothing you can do. It is over. Jalen Walker plays like that very similarly, and the impact is similar. Of course, Jalen is a little bit different, but still, they're both named Jalen. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, really like this at the number 7 spot. Looks like he was at 6, so he went down. So he really likes him, so I need to keep that in mind, how much Daniel Jeremiah likes these guys. Jahdae Barron, we did the breakdown on him. Go look at that. Beautiful film. Flawless. He had the pick 6. Remember the guys, pick 6, and then Texas throws everything on the film, the pick 6 against Georgia. Texas throws everything on the field, and they called it pass interference. They brought it back, and then they gave Texas the touchdown. Very weird thing, but I'm very happy it happened, because this kid deserved that touchdown, because it was not pass interference, and he is just so you see the Swiss Army knife comment right here. That's awesome. But he is the Brian Branch, the Mike Sanderstill, the Tyrann Mathieu, the guy that's you just want around the ball, the guy that you just need around the ball. The gentleman that he is just a magnet to him. You want him on the field because he's the athlete. And Jahdae Barron, he definitely gets to the ball. He's an excellent blitzer as well. So he will be great outside as a corner. He will be great as a safety if they want to put him at safety. His biggest impact, in my personal opinion, is at the nickel because he can tackle. He's very fast, very athletic, very technical, and he has that playmaker acumen to his brain. And so I would love that. Will Campbell at 9. This is where we will disagree. And I love me Will Campbell. And I love me Daniel Jeremiah. But this is where we just got to disagree. There are so many players. And this is if we're going to be consistent in Will Campbell being seen as a tackle and not a guard. And I think as the weeks get closer to the draft, you're going to see a legitimate trend of Will Campbell slowly going down the rankings just because he is going to be seen as a consistent guard at some point. 32.5-inch arms. Or 30. No, it's 32.5-inch arms. Like, that's you can make it work. It's worked in the NFL before, but is a team going to be willing to risk a high pick in that regard? I don't know. Oh, we'll see Cam Ward at 10. That is what it is. But to further go on just on real quick with Will Campbell, there are other defensive guys that I like more than Will Campbell. There are defensive guys that we saw in film go against Will Campbell that he had trouble with. And they're offensive linemen that I like way more than Will Campbell and the film that we dug into. So I want to actually read this one to see what Daniel Jeremiah says, because I heavily disagree at the 9 ranking. Campbell has the ideal height, bulk, and athleticism for his position. Pass pro, he stays square, true, bends well, and keeps his hands in tight. He will expose his chest at times due to his lack of ideal length. Yes, he is able to recover after giving up some initial ground. He can slide and redirect with ease. He flashes the upper body strength to torque and control defenders. Not consistently there. Not consistently at all. If he's able to get his hands on him, if the chest issue like we just discussed, if things work out and his arm length isn't the issue, then yes, he is able to do that. But I will definitely disagree if things go wrong. No. In the run game, he can wash defenders down. He stays attached to or through the whistle. There's not much panic around the league as you might expect when it comes to his arm length due to the discrepancies and measurements between the combine and all-star games. And the thing is, we watched the film and he wasn't very dominant in my eyes. And in that regard, I don't know. Cam Ward at the number 10 spot. After this, we're going to speed things up a little bit so we get through all the 50. I like Cam Ward. I have the number 1 overall pick in my fantasy league. It definitely depends where everybody goes. The 3 are Argenti, Cam, and Shador. Those are where I'm thinking of. I really like Cam Ward. He has the better whippersnapper of the arm. I love everywhere where he's gone for college, from Incarnate Word to Washington State to Miami, right? I gave it to Joe Burrow the ability to leave a college and perform at a high clip. Dylan Gabriel to go from UCF, to Oklahoma to Oregon, to jump around. Will Howard, like that transfer and success ordeal at the college quarterback position, it's fantastic. You should quit. You should quit. Like if you have to, dig, if you can't find a home, I mean, that used to mean you weren't good enough. But now if you can't find a home, that means because you're so good and you want to find, a penthouse at a better clip. So I love Cam Ward. I love his arm strength. I'm not even going to try to pretend like I know quarterback. I do so many film evaluations. I don't pretend like I know quarterback. I'm not even going to front. So I'm not even going to do it. Hope that means that y'all trust me. Armin Mimbu is a thick, square tackle. I like Armin Mimbu. We did a film breakdown on him. I did not see the number 1 tackle, especially when his life has mostly been on that right side. I don't even know if that I don't even know if a right tackle is more valuable as a left tackle anymore because of where they're putting him in the rankings. I don't even know if he's going to play. Is he about to play left tackle in the NFL? Is that going to be just an easy transition, or is he going to be a right tackle? And if he's going to be right tackle, do you spend top 10 pick for a right tackle? I mean, they did it for Penei Sewell, so I guess you could. So I just didn't know how consistent that was. Penei Sewell and Armin Minbo, I mean, they're not. You know what I mean? So I would say that is important to note. But people really like Armin Minbo. From a film to film standpoint, I still don't think Josh Simmons is getting his respects. And I think it's all medical. Josh Simmons is not getting his respect whatsoever, and it sucks. Jahad Campbell, really love this. He has that same ability, I would say, of Jalen Walker, but I would say more of who's the kid? Frick, man, I think his name is Devin. He plays for the Jags. I can't remember. He was a linebacker. I can't remember what college he went to either. Dang it. Anyways, he has that same ability to go linebacker to edge, but he's just a more slender guy. Very athletic. I love how he flies to the ball. His east to west capabilities are phenomenal. I love to see his jumps up too. Him and Jalen, they have just been climbing up a lot of people's boards. And Will Johnson, to get to this point in the video, he has just been going down, down, down. And I don't know if medicals is a thing that we should be, unless it's like a habit, right? Unless it's like or it's like a serious like broken femur or like something that can like take your athleticism away. But he had turf toe. Am I right? Like, right? Isn't that what I heard? Or maybe it was a knee injury or something. Or maybe it was a different player. I'm sorry if I'm getting another corner mixed up. But I'm pretty sure he had something that was painful or he just... But it's not like something that's lingering that's like going to hurt him forever. To where it's like this kid last year, he was being seen as the consensus number one dude. And this is another guy, Omarion Hampton. I have not done the film breakdown on him, but people are giving him so much love. Out of North Carolina, big athletic guy, ran really well at the combine, showed a lot. I saw a highlight film of him, but we don't really get a lot from the highlight film. That's just my personal opinion. We're going to do the film breakdown of him. Him having 2 running backs in the top 15 means something about this draft because there are so many more running backs that I love. And I wonder if Caleb Johnson, who's actually my running back too, to Genty, I wonder if Caleb Johnson is going to be on this top 50. Matthew Golden. One thing is cool about him is that he's actually from the University of Houston, not necessarily from the University of Texas, because I kind of give an asterisk with Texas receivers for some reason. They just, for whatever reason, don't really consistently pan out. I know Xavier Worthy's balling right now. But incredible speed. We did the film on him. Incredible ball skills. The ability to really jump up and get his hands exactly where he wants. He has this athleticism thing, too, where some athletes can, like, jump twice in the air very quickly. Very nice. Adonai Mitchell, I think Matthew Golden is a better version of Adonai Mitchell. And I really, really liked Adonai Mitchell coming out of Texas a few years ago. The jump ball ability is great. He definitely has some speed. I did the Arizona State game for his breakdown. Looked phenomenal. Check that one out on YouTube. And that just hit me in real time. This is good. This is good. Because I now want you guys to see, like, Daniel Jeremiah is the Don. Hell no. Hell no. Tet is wide receiver 1, bro. Tet is wide receiver freaking 1. I don't really know how to do like a full top 50 when you're mixing up like positions, because there's value of position. There's so many different indicators of it. It's kind of tough to do a top 50 for me in my opinion. But receiver to receiver, hell no. Hell no, bro. And I hate this. I'm going to call it slander because it's not being praised. He's not getting his respects, bro. He's not getting his respects, dude. He is so freaking good. And he had And there's nothing wrong with short quarterbacks, but everything that he has had to do with the shorter quarterback that has to throw things with anticipation, which is great for a taller receiver, throw things at a certain height for the receiver to jump up and get it. I kind of think, though, if he has a taller or bigger quarterback that can get him the ball maybe quicker, more easy, or something like that, this kid could be way more clean, like way more clean. I hate this. He's not a Drake London. He is an athlete. I don't even know. I don't think he ran at the combine. I disgustingly disagree. Overall, I thought London. I didn't even like Drake London coming out of college. My homies. I like Drake London coming. Sorry, I like Drake London coming out of college. I didn't like that he was being seen as the wide receiver one over like Garrett Wilson for like any of them. He was like the fifth receiver I think I had. Hell no, Daniel Jeremiah. And I'm so happy and I'm okay with disagreeing. He is wide receiver one and he's better than Will Campbell, in my opinion. Tech McMillan does his job better than Will Campbell. Wow, this is going to get crazy. I like this. I would say Emeka Egbuka is wide receiver 2. I think Golden's 3. I think he's great. I think he's awesome. But I don't want that 40 to get you tripping, bro. I don't want that speed to make you think that that's the end all be all. Because I want you to go and I want you to look up 40 times of receivers. And then tell me if you think it translates. Like, come on, man. But I really like Emeka Egbuka's game. I like the maturity. I like the Ohio State aperture. I don't even know if I'm using that word right. History that he has. I definitely see this right here. Slot receiver in the mold of former Buckeye Jackson Smith and Jigba. You do see that, but you see an athletic version of Jackson Smith and Jigba. It's like faster. So I think that's what JSN kind of loses is his athleticism. I like it a lot bit more. Shedeur Sanders at this 18 spot, down 3 slots, slightly undersized. Oh, so I actually saw his highlight reel this morning as well. I know I've seen it already as well, but I kind of just like to remind myself. Cam Moore, Shedeur, I watched them both this morning. I like, and this might sound crazy, but there's something about Shedeur and how he passes the ball, how high it is. He throws like Tom Brady. And as soon as he throws, he'll square up, dude. He squares up. He squares his hips up every single time. Very few times do you ever see him. And this is why he gets, like, this is why his whole thing is, like, getting jacked up. Like, his biggest, like, pro is that he's able to throw the ball with hips squared, not caring, and get laid out, and then it be a sacrificing hit, and the pass be completed because his toughness. He's very, very tough. And this is that second player that I told you guys about. I wish his last name was Shedeur Blankenship, Shedeur DeJean, so he could just like this isn't a race thing. I don't want to make it a race thing, even though I use 2 white dudes. It's not a race thing. It's a hype thing. It's a hater thing. People are haters on the Sanders family because they're lit, they're loud, and they're winning. They're not losing. They're lit, they're loud, not losing. And so people want to see them lose, and I think that's not Daniel Jeremiah. I'm not blaming Daniel Jeremiah. I'm not saying Daniel Jeremiah is here. Hell no. I'm saying the general. I agree with Daniel Jeremiah. At this 18, that's where he wants to put him. I agree with Daniel Jeremiah. But everyone else, there's something to why you don't like him. Nick Emanwari, I guess we'll go with Mikael Williams. We're going to do 2 at a time at this point. Nick Emanwari, Mikael Williams. This is when I say Will Campbell he's not 9. No. Mikael Williams will devastate Will Campbell. And Will Campbell will be mentally tacked, physically devastated. Will Campbell's not going to quit. Will Campbell's not going to beg to get out. But if you put Will Campbell at that left tackle position, and you put Mikael over there full time, no rotations, all day, he gets to go, and you let him run free. But Nick Emanwari, 6'3", super fast, super athletic, super rangy. He had a great game against LSU as well. Pick 6 that was actually called back in that game, but actually had another interception. Mikael Williams, we've done the film breakdown against him. I'm doing the Texas one. Currently, I did the Texas National Championship or the Texas SEC Championship. I did that one for Mike Kell. Dominant the whole freaking game. I mean, if he's 20, if he's 20, Will's not 9. That's how I see that. Mike Green at 21. I need this Will Campbell thing. I need to watch more of Will Campbell because I don't get it. And I'm out here in the front lines. I don't get what people see with Will Campbell. And I feel like I'm being a contrarian. I feel like I don't know. Mike Green's a dog though. Mike Green, I love him a lot. James Pierce, all these edges I think are better than Will Campbell. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with any of these rankings at this point in time. Mike Green, ferocious, dominant, 17 sacks at Marshall, freaking incredible at the Senior Bowl. Picked Josh Connerly off his feet. It was incredible, saw it live. James Pierce Jr., to be at this 22 rank with all the character concerns and you're absolutely a freak of nature on the field, I think that's high praise. I think if I were to able to do a top 50, when you mix all the positions in, I'm going to do an edges, things like that. Edges, receivers, blah, blah, top 10, that's easy. But when you mix up, I think it's kind of weird. If I had to do one, I think he'd be at 50 because of the character concerns. How can he be so freaking athletic, so freaking amazing, such an anomaly, gifted, and coaches don't like you? That means you have to be a headache, or you have rumors about you. I don't know if coaches don't like you, but you have anything negative about you. That means like you have to be a menace, bro. Everyone kisses your ass in college. Tyler Booker, guard out of Alabama. I was about to say Georgia. We did the film breakdown on this young gentleman. Very athletic, very strong, very low to the ground. Plays on his toes, man. Plays on his toes, and I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying that like when he pulls, or like when he gets out in the space, he is fast. He is light on his feet. I really like it. Gray Zabel. The one thing I like about his game is the versatility. And at the Senior Bowl, you saw it consistently, standing up people at that center position, standing up people at that guard position. I think if you're able to get him at center, that's the best thing because he has left tackle history. And if you have left tackle history, that means you have a certain strength that if you can if you have a certain strength that if you can plug in at the center position, your offensive line just got so much better. Because usually the center is the weakest one. But if you can get a very strong center in as Gray Zabel, you're at a great clip. Malachi Starks will have the great have fallen. And this is another one. At the 25 position, 25 spot, he just went up 9, as you can see. I think as a safety, it's hard to put everything in. Like a safety has like quarterback responsibilities, but has the action of like a fullback. Like he has so much responsibility as a safety. Hello, the name of the position. Let me tell you what it means. He's the last line of defense. He's the safe haven before they enter the end zone. Safety. And so with that being said, like I think he's great. I've never even actually thought of a world where he can play that nickel back position. I only saw him as a strict safety, but I love that idea of him definitely playing a nickel. Very fast, rangy. We haven't gotten the breakdown of him out, but I have it recorded and done. I haven't pushed it out yet. Nick Emanwari and Malachi Starks. I think I'm still hedging on Malachi. Just slightly, just due to his consistency and his years prior. And then Derek Harmon, love me some Derek Harmon, man. We did the film breakdown on him. I'm gonna do another one on him actually. Very athletic, very strong. Calais Campbell, Chris Jones type of dude. Did phenomenal things at the NFL Combine. 4.9, 40, messed up one of my parlays. I thought it was going to be a 4.97 or worse because he's 6'5", 318 pounds at the Combine at that time. Just crazy weight, and so, but it still did great things. Shamar Stewart. This is where things get weird. And now, what does the top 50 mean? Is that best prospects, best seasons, or is it like these are the best guys that will do the best, or you think could do, like, I don't even know what the thing that really throws me off with Mr. Shamar Stewart, we'll say it like this. It's a good thing that I saw him live at at the Senior Bowl, it's a good thing I saw him there first before I did his film breakdown, right? Because I was able to see him being coached by other coaches. I was able to see him in a light, right, around other schemes, right, other ways for him to be successful. And dude was ruthless. He was actually able to leave by Wednesday. He left by Wednesday, and another kid that came in to take his spot because he got a phone call. Boop, boop, hey, you're good. Like you're done. Like you're good. He had a phenomenal week. The 4.5 sacks over 3 seasons. That's really freaking weird, dude. Really freaking weird. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. Don't like it at all. That's weird, bro. You're so athletic. He did everything. 40-inch vertical, crazy 40 time 4.59 or 4.58. You know, freak of nature. If you were told to run backwards at every time you say hut, you should still be able to get 5 sacks. I don't, as a freak of nature as he is. Of course, I'm being hyperbolic, but Kenneth Grant, hell no, he's not worser than Will Campbell. Will Campbell is not better than Kenneth Grant. Put him at guard too, dude. I am so fed up and lit, and I'm wanting Will Campbell to prove me wrong. I'll take it, but if you do a top 50 and you add in all the positions, it's hell no, hell no. Kenneth Grant, freaking beast, dude. Still has baby fat on him. Can get stronger. Can't wait till he gets into his man body. He's gonna be so freaking good at the age of 26. I don't know, man. He what does he say right here? Unfortunately, he couldn't bottle that performance during an up and down season. What did he say here? His upside was a full bit. Unfortunately, I don't know, but I love him. Very quick, very violent, very strong. He can go over you. He can go through you. He can get skinny. He had a play against Illinois. He had a play against Illinois, I think. They lost. It was a team they shouldn't have lost to, and they lost to. Or it was like Northern Illinois or something like that. He's at the 0. He's at the 1. Breaks through the A gap easily. Has a pulling tight end. A tight end that is trying to do I forget what you call it. Where he's going from one side to like a cleanup block, like a block on the other side of the edge. Why can't I think of it? This is so a pulley. I can't. This is so embarrassing. Anyways, Kenneth Grant was able to penetrate the offensive line so well, and then I might try to find the video, and then use the tight end to tackle the running back. It was freakish. Kelvin Banks Jr. is better than Will Campbell. I did the film. I did the breakdown. I love the measures way more. I love that he is a thick young man with a big ass. Crazy sentence, but it's true, guys. Very athletic, and he's very young, right? He got thrown into the SEC, and people would because he had a great freshman year, and they thought he was just supposed to be some freaking second coming of Trent Williams, and he didn't look super polished at Texas in the SEC. And he's at 29, and Will Campbell's at 9. That's going to be me for the rest of this freaking video. I am lit. And the same thing, Donovan Ezeruku out of Boston College actually was able to get in. What's my guy's name? Ugly, used to be head coach for Brian. Is it Brian? Bill Bryan. I can't remember. But his new head coach, Bill O'Brien. Phenomenal guy, was able to get that defense lit. He was the ACC player of the year with 16 and a half. No, I think it was 17. I think it says 6. No, it was 16 and a half sacks. It was 16 and a half sacks. It said 14 on PFF. It was 16 and a half sacks that he had, yes. In his last season, ACC defensive player of the year. Really great things. Great bend. If you're going to give him any comp and you want to make it lazy, you give him Von Miller. It's a lazy comp where it makes sense. You can see it. Glimpses of it, but no one's the Don. No one's Don Miller. Luther Burden III. For whatever reason, this kid has been getting kicked down. Even though there was once upon a time, he was the wide receiver 1, even over Ted, and he was the wide receiver 2 at some point in time. And because Brady Cook and this Missouri offense couldn't figure out any type of adjustments or growth, people just say I guess they think that his sophomore year was a fluke. We got to be consistent. This is inconsistent. This is lazy, I think. So you see, this is laziness, and this is inconsistencies. So I'm not even going to read this. More than likely, is he going to bring up the fact of his production going down? Okay, I wonder if he's even going to mention that. He doesn't even mention that. He doesn't even mention it. Okay, so I do love Jeremiah for this. I do love Daniel Jeremiah for this because I don't see him mentioning the production from year 1 to year 2. Do I disagree with him? 100%. At 31, 100% do I disagree. But do I respect his opinion? 100%. Oh, he also says athletic slot. I kind of saw him as an anywhere outside dude as well. What I don't like with the Luther Burden thing is him saying like his production fell off. And that's why you feel weird about giving him high praise. But then you're going to give Shamar Stewart, a guy that has no production, higher praise. If he said anything about production here, I was going to call him out with the Shamar Stewart. But he didn't. I like it. Maxwell Harrison, Travion Henderson did the film breakdown of Mr. Maxwell today. Doesn't like to tackle. You know, he doesn't like to get dirty in that tackling when it comes to a running back ordeal. When it comes to receiver, I would say sure, yes. If it's a receiver, he'll tackle. If it's coming down to make a certain designated tackle on the running back, it's calculated, it's outside. He's the last line of defense. He'll get there. He'll chop his feet. He'll freeze up a little bit. Whatever move you put on him, he'll bite. He'll bite. And he's 186 soaking wet. I think he's 6 foot, even though it says 6'1", I think on PFF. And he has a crazy 40 time. I think it was like a sub 4.4 40. And so super fast, super athletic. I hope he's in that nickel spot. I think that's where he should survive. Great on the anything pass related, anything the balls. I harped on his run defense. Anything balls in the air, I trust this kid as much as I do Jahdae Barron. What makes Jahdae Barron work is his run help, his run support. Kid is really good. Travion Henderson, haven't done the breakdown on him. I will, though, at some point. The Texas game is everything that you really needed to see for him to really cement that he is probably a second round floor, I would say. With Travion Henderson, maybe top of the third, possibly, because no one really understands how this draft is going to go with so many running backs. But that screen to the house against Texas was that did it for him. What is happening, dude? There's these punches in my brain when we get to these guys. I don't like when you clunk up all these positions. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I like Kenneth Grant, but I'll take Walter Nolan over Kenneth Grant. Very twitchy, very strong, has an incredible club. His one arm club is just like, this dude could be. I think Walter Nolan, when all said is done, we talk 2-3 years from now, like, oh yeah, like how did he make it to pick 19 to the Bengals, 18 to the Bengals, or 17 to the Bengals? How did he make it to pick 17 to the Bengals? How? I mean, that could work. Like that could be a legitimate storyline. Strong, fast, athletic. I don't think people like his attitude. He kind of has he kind of also has that Jalen Carter thing. It's in his eyes too. You could tell you could tell he's a guy on the team that you love, like you want him on your team, but you could tell he is a menace to those other people, a menace, and you love that. But I think there's just some alpha things to him. Like, you ain't gonna talk to him any type of way. I think that's kind of what it is with Walter Nolan, which it makes sense to a lot of guys. But he is not 34, and he should not be below Will Campbell. Josh Simmons, this is my OT1, and I'm sticking to it. You know, like I said, Uncle Danny Jeremiah, like, I like him a lot. This should be where Will Campbell is. And y'all might hate that, actually. I think y'all might be killing me in the comments. This might be circling back, and y'all might kill me in the comments, but I agree to that, man. Okay, well, let me talk about Josh Simmons real quick. I mean, I think it's the medicals. I think that's why people are just scared to put him up there. Well, I mean, what does he say here? Let's see it. Simmons is a gifted left tackle prospect. He was having an outstanding 2024 campaign before suffering a season-ending knee injury. He has excellent size, movement, skill, and balance in the pass game. He has a smooth, fluid set. True, he can easily redirect and plays with a wide, firm base. Dude, he is phenomenal, bro. This is just medical jargon. The main question is Simmons is his health. What he put on tape this fall should generate plenty of optimism about his chances of becoming a quality starting left tackle in the NFL. But he played like 5 games. Quality left tackle. He played 5 games, and you're putting. Let's keep going. Kinshawn Judkins. I mean, this guy is a college football video game freaking cheat code for a while. I think he's better than Travion Henderson. I don't know if other people agree with that, but they definitely give me that Jahmyr Gibbs. So many freaking players in my brain. David Montgomery vibe, yin and yang type of thing. And I think Kinshawn is the Jahmyr. Travion is the... Whoa! This is hot. Mason Taylor did the film breakdown on him today. Horribly used at LSU. Was just seen as a blocker, man. But just did incredible things at the freaking Senior Bowl. You can see it down here as the ability. Oh, he didn't mention the Senior Bowl. I saw day 1, so I thought he was mentioning day 1 at the Senior Bowl. When he was doing day 1 things at the Senior Bowl, jumping up on these 50-50 passes and just making it look so freaking easy, bro. And what does it say about separation? He's polished route running, showing the ability to set up defenders, lead us into them, and then create separation. See, I disagree right here. I think he does have an issue with creating separation against like safeties and corners, but I think he has this ability to box them out to where they just can't get the ball. Yeah, I mean, he says right here he doesn't have elite top speed, and I don't think he's like a smooth route runner. He's a smooth runner. I don't know if he's like a smooth route runner. Maybe after he gets the ball, he can turn it up crazy, but I don't think his route running is crazy. Josh Connerly Jr., really like this gentleman. Ooh, Donovan Jackson at 39. Josh Connerly Jr., I had him in my last mock going to the Dallas Cowboys at 12 ahead of Will Campbell. Another guy that I like more than Will Campbell. Athletic, strong, incredible base. He had that terrible rep against Mike Green where Mike Green picked him up, lifted him, and got him out of there. But I really like Josh Connerly's game. Donovan Jackson had the fluidity at Ohio State to play left guard. Josh Simmons gets hurt to play left tackle. Still looked phenomenal. Can we do the film breakdown on him? And this is a consistent guy. This is one of those weirdos that can end up in the first round and be like, oh! But then everyone that's an analyst be like, I can see it. Because the versatility, the left guard, left tackle thing, a lot of... Jackson Dart at 40. Once again, I'm not going to front. We don't know quarterbacks very well, but at the Senior Bowl, he looked very athletic, very on time, understood everything pretty well. Could have been seen as one of the best quarterbacks out there for sure. Trey Amos, 6'3", 195-pound type of dude. He reminds me of Nate Wiggins. Nate Wiggins out of Clemson, the build, the way, the speed. He reminds me so much of Nate Wiggins coming out of Clemson. I think he's with the Ravens right now. Azaria Thomas. I don't even know if that's how you say his name, but I just freaking threw that out of nowhere. That was awesome. I saw highlights of him. Not even going to talk out of my ass. Florida State, I did see that he does have a good candy to get his hands on the ball. Thomas is tall, long, fluid cornerback. In press coverage, he has the size and physicality to disrupt the line of scrimmage. He does, but he does need to clean up some of the footwork. His feet occasionally widen at the snap. He's forced to recover if he does not land his hands. From off coverage, he's effective playing from a side turn where he can explode and drive on in-breaking routes. He isn't a violent tackler, but he's more of a willing, and he can effectively get runners on the ground. Okay, that's good. I mean, I like that. Joshua Farmer at 43. Another guy that we did the film breakdown on. I think it came out today, actually, on Saturday. Literally today. Go check out the film breakdown this Saturday on Mr. Yeah, it was today. It got copyrighted because it's going against Miami, but it's whatever. Strong, bulky. I'm going to say this before I look. Horrible at using his hands. I mean, the game that we saw against Miami, horrible at using his hands. I wonder if he says it. Has a lot of shock in his hands, enjoyed himself, but he doesn't use them. I agree. He does not use them, though. He just tries so consistently against Miami. Check the film. I have it. You can't say I'm wrong. Go look at it. He just kept using his shoulders and his body and his arms because he was playing a lot of one tech, not a lot of three. So he was in these trenches dealing with a lot of double teams. And I was just like, dude, use your freaking hands. And he has 35-inch arms, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't even say it here. I'm pretty sure he has 35-inch arms. Does it say it because of the combine? Yeah, 35-inch arms. Look how fucking good I am. Shut up. 35-inch arms, dude. So that's just but he does not use his hands, dude. I promise you, he does not use his hands. But when he does, it's lit. It's just not consistent. Benjamin Morrison, I need to do the film breakdown on him. He's been slowing down. Oh, okay. He got hurt in October. This guy, I remember he was very, 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 very high up a few months ago. We'll do the film breakdown on him. We'll see, get things acclimated with him. Morrison is a smooth, easy mover with ball skills. Had a history of strong production before the season injury in October. Excels in off coverage with a fluid pedal and excellent awareness. Good. We'll get to it. I'm not going to talk out of my ass. I don't know. I did see some good things. I saw highlights of him in the very beginning when I was getting all this done, but we'll see. Elijah Awaro. See, I thought he would have Elijah Awaro over Mason Taylor because Elijah Awaro, when he left the Senior Bowl, he was the Don. The size, I think he's like 6'5", 6'6", incredible length. Pause. But even more so, he showed it in all the one-on-one drills. He was just phenomenal, very great, very athletic. Showed a lot of high point catching. And I mean, but this guy's not, I mean, Will Campbell's not better than Elijah Awaro as a tight end. That's wrong. I don't know if I agree. I think I'm just tilt. I want to take that back. I would say Will Campbell's definitely better at being a left tackle or guard than Elijah Awaro was being at tight end. I think I got caught up. Yeah, Will Campbell's better than Joshua Farmer. I stopped doing that. No, so Will Campbell's right here at 40. I would have Will Campbell at 40 if this was my top 50 thing. Carson Schwarzenberger, and then Landon Jackson. Love to see Landon Jackson here. Did an interview with him. Went crazy viral on TikTok. Was awesome. Schwarzenberger, I actually saw his. This is something weird, man. Literally this morning at like 2 a.m. I was looking at his. I can't sleep, so I literally at 2 a.m. this morning, I saw his highlight reel. Didn't see his film breakdown. Very quick, very athletic, very slender. Walk on. Does it say here? Former walk on this kid, man. Ended up starting, became the captain. He's the captain linebacker. Very just wild boy kind of, good old boy kind of kid at that linebacker position. Has a lot of thump, a lot of presence. And like I said, that was just a highlight reel that I saw of him. So really couldn't even see his actual true gifts. Landon Jackson killed it at the Senior Bowl. What does he say here? Yeah, Reese Senior Bowl. Yeah, it was very impressive. 40-inch vertical as well. At the Senior Bowl actual game, he was phenomenal. A lot of the drills, though, he was on the ground a little bit more than I would have liked him to, but still had some dominating performance. Caleb Johnson at 48. Well, he made it, guys. So 3 running backs. I just think, if you're gonna have I haven't seen Omari Hampton, so I'm not even gonna say it. Omari Hampton could be good. He'd be the GOAT. He could have that. I think 14 spot he's got. Caleb Johnson, though, to be 48, I love it. Darius Alexander. See, I think Darius Alexander is better than Joshua Farmer, with all due respect. With all due respect to Mr. Farmer. I wonder if this is just due to lack of competition, possibly, but he was very amazing at the Senior Bowl. And then we have Marcus Mimbo, I believe is how you say his name. Another guy, phenomenal at the Senior Bowl. I think he is primarily a right tackle, I believe. I did the breakdown on him like 2 days ago. Oh, I'm outside, bro. That's the top 50 for Mr. Daniel Jeremiah. Let's talk. You agree with me? I know if you have any Will Campbell truthers in there, we'll see you in the comments. I know you hate me if you really love Will Campbell, but I'm sure there's going to be a few of you that feel me with Will Campbell, and I hope I'm not alone. See you guys later.